On the weather front now, in the wake of a week of intense storms, rescue crews in the Western Cape are working around the clock. The recent cold snap has also affected other regions of the nation. Concerns have also been raised about fire starting as well as wildfires around. Let's now speak and learn about this weather forecast for today and what's in store for us. Meteorologist Celeste Fourie from the South African Weather Service joins us via Teams. Thank you so much for your time, Celeste. So, are there any warnings we should worry about when we look at today?
For today, we still have our alerts for disruptive rain in place, mostly for the southwestern parts of the country. Yellow level 4 has been issued most of the southwestern parts of the Western Cape. That would be a low likelihood of significant impacts that we are expecting. But then over the mountainous interior of the Western Cape, we are expecting a orange level 6 alert. But that is mostly due to, as you mentioned, a week of intense rain that they have experienced. Furthermore, there is still snow in the forecast, but that is just yellow level 2 alert. So it is just a low likelihood, a high likelihood of minor impacts that snow should be causing. And then we also have some damaging winds and waves, a high likelihood of some minor impacts that we are expecting there because of that winds and waves. But other than that, the country can expect, especially the Western Cape, a bit of a clearance in the weather from today into tomorrow, as only the next cold front is approaching Tuesday morning.
And Celeste, of course, we are grappling there with the line. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear from that end. So this week has not really been good at all in terms of the weather, as you've also rightfully mentioned. Can we expect a better week this time around?
Well, the interior of the country can definitely still expect fine conditions dominate. For the northeastern parts of the country, we are expecting a slight dip in temperatures tomorrow, and then starting to warm up again to the mid-20s by Wednesday. But as I did allude to earlier, another cold front we are expecting to make landfall Tuesday morning in the Western Cape. It is at this point not really too clear what type of alerts we are expecting.
All right.
But we can based on disaster management capabilities to address the...
So, Celeste, I'm unfortunately going to ask that we park this conversation here to just pick it up at a later stage. So, Celeste, let's pick this conversation up. Are there any warnings we should be worrying about today?
As I did try to say earlier, we are still expecting disruptive rainfall over the southwestern parts of the country today. We have issued a yellow levels or orange level 6 over the interior of the southwestern parts of the country. So that would be a high likelihood of significant impacts. And then over the majority of the southwestern parts of the Western Cape, we have a yellow level 4. That would be a low likelihood of significant impacts. And then also we still have some snow in the forecast. That is mostly along the western high ground of the Western Cape side. And then lastly, we have a yellow level 2 alert for some winds and waves. That would be we are expecting minor impacts from that. And then with regards to the fires that you did mention, the western half of the KwaZulu-Natal region can expect some fire danger conditions, as well as the eastern side of Limpopo. But for the rest of the country, fine and cool to warm conditions will persist.
And this has indeed not been a good week in terms of weather for many parts of the country. Can we expect a better week this time around?
Yes, so the weather for the next 2 days, we are expecting a clearance starting today. We do have another cold front expected to make landfall only Tuesday morning. That would once again affect the southwestern parts of the country. So the country or the Cape Townians can expect a small break between today and tomorrow, or mostly towards tomorrow in the weather.
And let's talk about this cold front that will be making landfall again on Tuesday. Where should it be expected?
It should be expected mostly in the southwestern parts of the country, like I mentioned. So that would be the northern half of the Western Cape side. So in our current forecast, you won't be able to see the front as of yet, but we are expecting to mostly brush the Western Cape province. But we do expect some prefrontal rainfall associated with that cold front as indicated on the charts there.
And Celeste, I know you also made a call for safety, for people to actually exercise all those safety measures. Just how important is it for all of us to heed this call?
Well, as you've mentioned earlier on, disaster management has been working around the clock to mitigate all the impacts that the weather has had on the Western Cape side. So just to be able to assist disaster management in that, we kindly request that the civilians do exercise caution just to help and assist the disaster management in lightening their load to disperse any major disruptions to their day-to-day life.
And I know there's also been some chats around the level of coldness that we've experienced in this winter. Where does this winter actually fare, Celeste, when compared to other winters? Would you say that this has been the coldest winter we've ever experienced?
I wouldn't say this would be the absolutely coldest winters that we have experienced. To be factually correct, we have to double check with our climate section on that. But we did experience quite intense cold fronts. That is definitely one for the record books. But yes, it is. I wouldn't say it's the absolutely coldest one we've had on record.
And just give us quick safety tips, particularly when we look at all this cold weather and that cold front that will be making its way on Tuesday.
Specifically for the cold, it would be best to stay indoors, stay nice and warm. When there's snowfall, don't be reckless and think that the snowfall is not as deep as expected. So vehicles should be careful of making minor accidents on the passes in the mountainside. So with the disruptive rainfall that's possibly still expected, don't cross any significant roadways when you're not sure how deep the water is. So it's just general public safety.